name is Tara. I'm head of the design services here at Abbyson, and I wanted to welcome you all to our showroom. Our company has a tremendous amount of respect for the design industry. We really appreciate you on all that you guys do for the furniture industry, and it's the main reason why we chose to invest so much in our technology for our designer trade portal, so that we can really build a program that caters to designers. And this show in particular is actually a very, very exciting one for me. Exactly 1 year ago, this market, we launched our interior design trade program, and ever since, it's just been so promising. And just 2 days into market, we already have record-breaking numbers of interior designers who have walked in. And with that said, I just really wanted to welcome you guys all to the Abbyson experience. We would love to talk to you guys, learn more about you guys, and join you into our family. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hand the mic over to the wonderful Jackie and Deb and this amazing panel of industry leaders, and they're going to teach you all how to build your own design killer tribe.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you.
My name is Jackie Von Tobel. I am one half of Soft Design Lab. My other half is sitting here to my left. We are an online community that provides inspiration, education, and information to the designers. Is it you can't hear back there? Okay, I will attempt to speak louder.
Sing it, girl.
Woohoo! No, you don't want to hear that. We are here today because we have built our business, our brands, our platform through really integral partnerships with people that we love and adore, and that have helped us in our businesses, helped us to grow as designers and businesswomen, empower us in the industry, and we want to share some of that with you all. We have taken it sort of to a different level, all of the people that are on this panel that have expanded to a much larger audience in building their tribe. But what we want to do today is talk to our people that we're going to introduce in a moment about how you guys can do that on your own personal level within your business and build a killer design tribe that's going to take you to the next level, that's going to empower you. We believe in power in numbers in our industry, and so I'm so excited to introduce you to my panelists who really have been spearheading this and have brought it to the forefront of our industry in ways that have been so incredibly impactful, and they are still changing the landscape of design today. So first on my left is my partner in design crime, Deb Barrett. Hi everybody. She is the smartest woman that I know in the design industry, and I say that to everybody. She is an international trend setter and trend forecaster in the soft furnishings arena and design in general. She is an amazing educator, trailblazing educator that has set the tone for design education in our country, and I'm very, very proud to be her partner in Soft Design Lab. Then we have Lee Rotenberg, I'm sorry. I think a lot of you know who Lee is, and Lee is one of the co-founders of IVY. We're thrilled to have the IVY team here. Raise your hand in the room if you're an IVY member. I mean, that is pretty amazing, and you're going to hear a little bit more from Lee about what IVY is if you're not familiar with it. Then I have my design rock star and my good friend Kelli Ellis. I know you all know who Kelli is, but you must know that she is a co-founder of Design Camp, which really set the world on fire, our design world, and opened up education to everybody. She is also an artist. She's a licensing designer with many collections. She is a best-selling author, and she's just an all-around great gal. We love her. And next we have Joseph Haecker of Designwall, and Joseph is, we gotta have a man on the panel, right?
Finally.
Exactly. Joseph, other than being a giant teddy bear, is an amazing lighting designer. Designed a lot of the lighting that you see in the Win and the Encore. He's a very, very talented guy. And he has now dedicated his time and energy into building Designwall, which is an Instagram-like community for designers, exclusively for designers, and it's also a great place to find product. So that being said, welcome everybody. We're thrilled to have you, and thank you for being on the panel. And thank you to all of you guys for taking time out of your busy day to come to these events. It takes a lot to put them together, and I want to thank Abbyson Living for this amazing, amazing venue and their hard work. And we are really appreciative of their support of the design community and their embracing. You know, having 100, however many designers into your beautiful brand new showroom can be a risky thing.
With drinks.
And their generosity speaks to the fact that they really are embracing the design community, and they're a wonderful resource for you. So I encourage you after the event to please go through the showroom and take a look at the product and really get to know their brand. I think that you're going to find them a really valuable resource. So we're going to get going with our questions in my very professional part here. And we're just going to throw this out to all of you guys. My first question for you is, can you just give us a very, very quick snapshot of your personal design tribe? Deb, you want to start?
Sure. Can everybody hear me? I'm a loudspeaker, didn't know I was that loud. As Jackie briefly mentioned, Soft Design Lab is sort of an online think tank and community, a hub for design professionals that are working in soft goods. Over 50% of what we spec on a daily basis is in the soft arena, yet there's really an opportunity to learn more, whether it's advanced education or inspiration or appropriateness, all those kinds of things. So it's an online community. It's all about mastering the art of soft furnishings.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? There, I can hear myself. So Ivy is a workflow tool, and that's how our tribe first comes to us, because they don't want to settle for the status quo. So I'd say the number one thing is our tribe is made up of interior designers who are looking to empower themselves, looking to go beyond what used to be the industry norm. So I'd say at the core of who an Ivy member is, it's someone that's looking to grow their business, grow the way they do things, and evolve.
That was in a nutshell. I like that. Who here knows Design Camp or Design Campus? Who's attended? Okay, great. So I know some faces out there. And I currently do something called Design Mastermind, which is an extension of Design Campus, but all the same idea is, thank you for the introduction of it. It was one of the first design summits to bring education and collaboration to all of the markets, really embracing the idea that we need to share information, that we need to help each other, that we are not the private people walking around like we're taking a test and hiding our answers. No more, right? So now we're just cheating off each other. It's perfect. So that's kind of what we started doing, was just sharing all of our answers and cheating off each other before class. And expanding what it is that we do in so many ways. And thank you again to the market and Abbyson for opening their doors and realizing how important it is to have the same forum, to be able to share information, and being open books, and that's what we're about. So, I'm still running on that platform.
So, Designwall is a social platform designed for our industry. It democratizes the whole system so that the big guys and the little guys can all compete, and the designers can find resources across the board. And we're making a social platform for us. That's Designwall.
Great, thank you. Question number 2. I feel like I'm at the dating game.
Bachelor number 3.
Exactly. Okay, we all have these great aha moments in our businesses or as individuals. What was your aha moment that prompted you to really get into tribe building?
Well, as you know, our aha moment was in a cab ride to the airport in Atlanta, coming back from DBC. And we had spent 3 days kind of talking about what was happening in the educational seminars and presentations and things, and we really kind of were lamenting that there were some voids. And we sort of looked at each other and said, you know, we're perfectly aligned with this whole thing. We've been wanting to do something together. Maybe this is our passion project. Let's take all those voids that, you know, we're perceiving, and instead of talking about it, let's do something about it. So that's really how it came. We hugged, we came up with a name, both got on our airplanes, and it started. I don't know if she went back and said, oh my God, what did I do when she was in the airplane, but you never know.
So I think our aha moment was when we realized, so I'm in this to disrupt the industry. And what I realized is that by disrupting the way an interior designer works with a modern workflow tool, which is Ivy, if you guys aren't using it yet, that's not enough. If interior designers don't know how to mark up, or that they should be marking up, then having a markup field and making it easy to mark up in our tool doesn't do anything if they don't know that this is how they should be running their business. Same with how they should be tracking their time. So what we realize is that we can build this wonderfully modern tool and empower interior designers to do it better. But if there isn't unique insight, if there is not a knowledge exchange, then this tool only takes disruption so far. And how Ivy's really approaching it, and that aha moment was, you know, we're gonna build this tool, but our focus and the core and our heartbeat is gonna be on this community, so we make sure we're building the right platform, we make sure our users are using it correctly, and we make sure that we shove the industry together as a powerful group of people in the way that's most beneficial for our members.
Very cool. I like the online platform, but I didn't go that way. Design Camp was online and sold. And because I still have the yearning to do the face-to-face and the one-on-one, which is really what I love, Design Mastermind was born. And my aha moment was to continue doing what I'm doing. Is I had someone come up to me and say, you changed my business. You changed my life. You changed my business. Why the hell are you not doing this anymore? And so my aha moment was, okay, I'm gonna do this because I like the one-on-one. So opposite of the online platform, I am still holding hands, sitting down, looking people in the eye and helping them break through and expand their businesses to another level that probably goes way beyond just a logo and a business card. So we're talking about a lot of deeper things to help us escalate you know, who we are in this whole world of design.
Our aha moment was 2008. It was the recession. I come from custom lighting, and I watched a lot of my friends in the custom lighting industry, their businesses fail. And the reason that they failed was because they might design a chair, they hire sales reps, those sales reps, they're used to knocking on the same doors. And when the industry changed and people weren't traveling and hotels weren't buying, those sales reps, it wasn't easy to go prospect. And it's almost easier just to quit your job and go find something new. And so that's what we saw in 2008. We saw a bunch of companies shut down and just try to ride it out and hunker down. The reality was, if those people could open up new prospects, open up new doors, and discover new industries, well, they might have discovered that their target wasn't hospitality, that their target might have been restaurants. Americans weren't traveling, but we were eating locally. We were going to ballparks and we were watching movies at movie theaters. Those industries were iterating and they were hiring designers and they were rebuilding and they were appealing to their audience. So the budget was there. My friends in the lighting industry that focus on hospitality, they couldn't discover that. So our aha moment was, how could we help companies put more food on tables, retain jobs, and compete in a global market?
Great, I love it all. When you're going out and you're trying to create as an individual designer, your design tribe, and you're trying to sort of circle the wagons and get those influential people into your life and decide who to go, do you feel it's necessary, and did you use a formal written plan when you started building your own tribe?
Yes and no.
Sorry, everybody.
Yes and no. Coming from a business background, but being a designer, we knew we had to do that, and we started our laundry list and the rough drafts, but it really did grow organically. I think because this is sort of a passion project for us, we wanted to seize that moment. We didn't want to lose the momentum, with building the tribe sort of organically. But we did put some things on paper, we did make some decisions, we did some strategies, so yes and no.
Yeah, I would say that we weren't that thoughtful about how we went about it. We just knew we had users, would create this private Facebook group, and then they would come and we would have them exchange knowledge. And one thing I'd like to say is that what we've seen in Ivy is that our members have created their own tribes within Ivy. How have they done that? They're sharing their own knowledge. If someone's great at 3D rendering, do a 3D rendering webinar, create a newsletter, and you're gonna get followers. Find out that one thing that you do better than anybody else. Whether it's how you do your hourly rate, because you've been in business 45 years and you know how to do hourly rates. Write a blog post once a week, you're gonna build your tribe, and it's that easy. Just think, what's that one thing I know better than anyone else? If you're an e-designer, maybe it's e-design. It can be new things, old things, own your wisdom, and hone in on that wisdom, and then your tribe just comes to you.
I had a hi, the voice. Oh, okay. I had a lot of people say to me, "How did you do?" So it was pretty organic that I could just follow my own lead and share how I did licensing deals, how I did this, how I got the television deals, and I just put it together that way and threw out the web and said, "Who wants to know these things? Who wants to sit down at my table in my house here in Las Vegas and overlook the strip and have a cocktail and talk about how do we build our businesses better?" And so it wasn't a formal deal, but it was an offshoot of what I had already done.
When we launched, we didn't have the ability to add descriptions. And so people started posting photos and they were photoshopping in text and they were, my team went back to me and they were like, "Oh, these are horrible. How can we delete these images? We're a social platform, so we're essentially like Facebook." So as far as letting people talk and building their tribe, what we heard from that and what I went back to my team for was, hey, what this is to me is people wanting to talk. They wanted their own voice. They wanted to go sell it how they want to sell it. So kind of like Ivy Mark, it is about letting the industry speak. It's you guys. How do you guys want to do it? I'm not the decision maker. We're just a platform to enable you guys. You're the tribe. How do you guys see it? And then how do you guys learn from each other? I think a lot of the times industry and stuff, it's about us, and it's not about us. It's about us enabling you guys to reach a larger market. And it's you guys. You guys are the tribe.
Great info. And I think the takeaway there is sometimes we plan as designers and we don't do. And I think sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith and dive in and then start planning around it. But don't be afraid to take that chance. Our audio's a little funky here. Okay, we're at Market. We have lots of casual friends at Market. We have great friends that we see at Market. And we go to great events and we have a good time and we hang out. But what makes a difference between those relationships and who is it that you want to put on your tribe? Who is it that is actually going to make that kind of impact that's going to support and enhance your business? What would be your advice in choosing those people?
I think that in some cases it's very much like a business executive building a team. You want diversity, right? You want like-minded people, right? Because you want to speak to, the niche, to the power of a specialty, those kinds of things. But you also want people that have a point of view and aren't afraid to share that point of view. I think too often, we've talked a lot about this at Market in the past couple of days. The design community has this crazy low self-esteem, and we're all worried about what everybody else says. So you kind of need to, you have to separate yourself in a way from the social, if you will, and kind of at some point be treated as a business, though it really a social business maybe. I wonder if you and I are doing that. Get away. So, but you also have to be careful that you aren't excluding people. Because sometimes you make these sort of judgments, if you will, just like we do about our clients, and they might be wrong.
No,
they
I'm
might be
right.
somebody that
I'm
could,
right about those.
right? That you can always, you're saying to yourself, oh no, I don't know if that's going to work, and then they might be the one that is in there grinding away and sharing all the information. You're like, wow, I didn't know that. So there's a fine line.
I think to your point,
We're going out of order, sorry.
That's all right, no
We're gonna
problem.
mix it up. I think to your point though, when you're looking for people who are the ideal tribe members, obviously it's somebody who is passionate about what you're doing, who cares about what you have to say, but also has a really strong voice. Because what better to have on your team than a cheerleader, right? So if you love Ivy, you're gonna go, woo, I love Ivy, look what I learned today. Those people willing to share what's happening to keep it going, because nothing's gonna survive if you can't put water on it and have the right people watching it, guarding it, putting light on it, fertilizing it. And those are the people that you want in your tribe, the people that can help you spread the word. So if I helped you, your business changed 100%, I would want you to share that information. I would hope that you would, scream from the rooftops, thank you so much. And it's not about me so much, as it's just thank you so much for the help. I don't care about my name's in it. Just, I want to see you succeed, right?
yeah.
I think we all work really well behind the scenes.
Totally.
That's one of the successes of our tribes is because we're in the bunker, so to
Well,
speak.
I like my new setup too.
Yeah, no, but
It's a little
you do a lot of work behind the scenes, Cal.
I tell you, Lee.
So we have to turn this off. Yeah. So I would say with Ivy, it's less about picking who's a part of your tribe and more about being genuine. I'm a very sassy person. You ask anyone on the team, Alex is the nice one, I'm the sassy one. And I treat my members of Ivy Mark like I would treat anyone on my team, which is loving but also sassy. So for instance, if I think someone is not contributing to the overall goodness of this community we're trying to build, I will lovingly tell them that. I will today I posted in our private Facebook group, like, hey guys, this isn't a support channel, write us on support. We have support for a reason. Corporate companies, or most companies wouldn't even say that because they're worried of the impression it's leaving.
That was sassy.
It's sassy, I'm sassy all the time. I make mistakes often in my newsletters. There's not a newsletter I've sent out that hasn't had a typo. Why? Because I'm writing like I'm writing to my friends, because I really view my members as friends. So I think it's less about choosing who's a part of your tribe, but more setting that tone that really comes from what's best for this Ivy community. And we have ambassadors. We chose ambassadors in different cities, and those are the ones that kind of had the time and energy and zest to create these nice little collectives. But we also have people who aren't an ambassador yet contribute just as much. And even those people who I love dearly, if they piss me off, I will write them in private email and be like, what the heck? Like, are you kidding me? Even though they're a member and I love them, but I just put them in line and they put me in line, and it's perfect, and it creates a real tribe, because a tribe is a family. Ivy is not I always say, I don't call our users users, they are members. And when I refer to what Ivy is, I say the Ivy family. Like, I see so many of my family members here, thank you for coming. I love you just like my family. I get annoyed with you, but I love you. And that's how I built Ivy, and this is how we continue to do it.
Boxing ring.
Yeah.
You get to pick your
Joseph?
So it's real easy to talk about us. So watching IVC, really, we got to hang out last night and everything. They've got a really close team. Right before this, we were talking about our team, and Kelly's on the team, and my CFO, he likes to nitpick and butt heads. There's two different types of teams. There's the people that work with you, and then there's your network of people, and those are everybody that you come in contact with. What's amazing about these trade shows and getting out to these events, it's not with connecting with the same people. It's while you're standing in an elevator, build your tribe. Ask a person, hey, what do you do? Reach out, network, Grow that. You never know what that's going to lead to. Your tribe is endless. Grow it. We've got social media. You've got all kinds of outlets to reach people. Don't hunker down. Don't isolate. Get out. Take the risk and introduce yourself. You don't know where that's going to lead. Your tribe is endless, and it's not hard to maintain. Just be you.
On that point, I would say the most important thing with a tribe, but even the team you build at your firm, you have to have this idea that you have to take as much as you give. If you build a tribe of just takers, that's not a tribe. That's like any other community that's built around a startup. Same with a firm. If you have two, assistant designers who are just thinking about themselves and not thinking about the mission of what happens if we take and give and we help each other, that's a different kind of vibe, and that's the vibe we want. I want a tribe that's when one firm needs something, another firm helps out. Because they know also when they need something, they can ask the group, and it's a knowledge exchange. I always tell people, stop taking. Give, and then know that people will give right back. And that's the tribe you build. And you build it in your firm, and you build it in your personal life, and that's, if you just give, it all comes back.
I love it. Inclusionary, not exclusionary, right? Yes, absolutely. What would you say then for our attendees here? What was the biggest mistake that you made, and then how did you learn from that? How did that impact your business? But was there one mistake that you really set the tone then for your growth?
I would say our biggest mistake, so we're only a year old, we're babies, like we're still breastfeeding basically. Our biggest mistake is that, yeah, sorry, just trying to keep it interesting so you don't snooze. Anyways, so our biggest mistake is that because we're so young, we still don't have processes. So it's the same thing when a firm is starting out, you really develop your processes with your firm through the mistakes you make. And so Ivy has a private Facebook group, and it's only for our members. And so when people would churn, those early people who don't know what's good for their business, they'd leave, they'd cancel their membership with Ivy, we would cancel them out, would immediately remove them from our Facebook group. And then people would get so angry. And then we realized we shouldn't do it that way. We have to tell them, okay, we're canceling your membership and we're removing you from our Facebook group. And my biggest lesson is, that process, because it created a lot of anger. People were like, how did you just delete me from this Facebook group? And then I would dig in and they would dig in. And then we're like, if we just change the way we do things, let them know up front. Because the thing is, when you build a tribe, you can't just, cut people out. So tribes let people have stickiness with what you build, but also it can create this tension when you're like, sorry, you no longer belong here. And they're like, that's not how a family works. Like, I'm in this family for the long run. So that's our biggest mistake.
Okay, I have a few, but I'll just keep it small and short. Follow-up. I think follow-up was the biggest thing, because I would have up to 600 designers in the room for 2 solid days, teaching them about you name it. And I remember so many conversations, and what we didn't do was do the private Facebook group with the follow-up, because so many people wanted to exchange information, so many people wanted to exchange emails, so being one of the first platforms, that would have been a really great way to continue to talk about new groups, next time we were getting together, new live events, you name it, rather than sort of starting over every single time we did a live event. So I've learned from that. Yeah. I've learned from that in a big way, because the follow-up is huge. You know that. You come here, how many cards are you going to go home with? A stack of cards. And if you don't reach out and you don't do what you said you were going to do, and you don't take a note, I make notes on my cards now, BTW, because I'll look at this and go, I have no idea who that person is, and I should have made a note about it, right? Because they don't have their faces on their business cards. Start doing that too, by the way. We need to be real estate agents. Start putting your dang face on your business card so I can remember who the heck you are when I leave here. But that follow-up, I think, is the biggest lesson that I learned.
So you guys are here to relate this to you guys. So mistakes that we've made, we don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. Lean on your team, trust in their ability. We're all small business owners. We're all in small businesses, maybe we're in larger businesses, we're all dealing with people. Don't forget that your team is people, your clients are people. People have different perspectives than you. Be open and strong enough to listen to them. The client is always right, but you know what? It's so hard to see it from their side. So just sit back, digest it, learn yourself. Learn how to take your team's criticism. Learn how to take your client's criticism. And then you're the one that's ultimately responsible for the success. Be responsible for your customers. Be bendable. And then listen, and then figure out the solution. That's what we are as small business owners. Your clients are depending on you to be the big person and bend for them. And then figure out what the solution is for them. And if the solution is none, I think transparency is what you were going for. And just say, I don't know, and that's a good answer.
Okay, this is what I say. So either make the problem pretty, or there are no problems, it's just an opportunity for a new solution. Right? So reframing, opportunity for a new solution. Because that, you know how angry you get? You're like thinking, you just get so wrapped up in it, or if you're in your boxing ring, right? Right? So I can tell she's good. I do not want to cross her. I do not. But the opportunity for a new solution, like reframe you so that you can be bendable and do that.
I think one of the things that we learned early on, it's kind of a double-edged sword for us, okay? Because it was a mistake, we learned from it, and now it's probably a core value in our brand. And that was the generous sharing that we did in our community. And from the mistake standpoint of it, it was that there's always the people, as you said, that are going to take, and it, at some point, we sort of started to lose a little bit of focus because of that, if you will, right? But then when we sat back and we started thinking about it, okay, how can we grow from this? How can we change this into an opportunity, as you said? Then we realized, you know what, that is who we are. That's our authenticity, and we're about sharing and generosity. And so then we owned it and spun it, and that's what really was probably the tipping point, I would think, in moving the community and the numbers and things forward for us in the tribe.
Yeah, and I think that for all of us, be careful what you start out with, and be mindful as you're building your tribe. You do need to have sort of a long-tailed view of what is your objective. Don't just go into it totally nilly-willy, because you might end up with something that you didn't want to happen, and through your own planning or whatever. So we have one final question. I think that this is probably the most powerful movement that has entered into the design industry in the last, let's say 5-6 years, is the fact that we are collaborating, we are building communities, we are building tribes, both big, small, both corporate and individual. We would like to know, what do you see are future developments in this category, and where do you think this is going to take us as a design industry of individuals that are now grouping together and realizing that there are power in numbers?
Well, I think we all agree that we're in the middle of a huge sea shift in the design landscape on lots of different levels. I think that for us, in our design tribe, is that we're firm believers, and we've validated that through our tribe, that everybody has a place, and it's about niches and owning that niche and understanding what you do best, as somebody said here earlier, and then taking it to the next level. It doesn't matter how many you have, it's that you have an engaged, dynamic, brand ambassador, whatever you want to talk, that person that's out there talking about you and your tribe. And I think that that's going to be really interesting, because I think that it's going to shape how we do business. And we don't know how that's going to be. I really don't know. I mean, there's so many tech tools and things out there. It's going to start really fast too, I think. For us, it's really about education. We're all about content is king in our tribe, and really empowering the designer with that information. So we have to take that back. Is our our point of view. At one point, we were the quote-unquote gatekeepers, right? We're not anymore because of design transparency. So there's a lot of misinformation that's out there. There's a lot of question about what is really good design when you know, online and, all those things. We all know what we were talking about. So it's like, how can we use content in the internet and the tools that are out there to teach and educate and inspire our client? And so it's not necessarily about selling product anymore for us. It's about expertise, knowledge base, building your tribe, I think, content.
So I think if we can all build our own tribe. So what I see in the next year or 2 years or 3 years is that we all, if we want to take advantage of this moment of technology as well as in-person meetings, is you can create your own collective. You all come from cities, you all might come from not even big cities, but there are other interior designers within a travel distance. And interior designers, I think, suffer from self-esteem problems, first of all. You're like, oh, well, no one's gonna come to my house for like cocktails because there's nothing I can offer. You have something to offer. Hold a gathering in your hometown that literally just says, let's discuss how we do markups, or let's discuss how we do hourly rates. You're gonna have a group of 5 or 10 people come, and I promise you, you're gonna leave there with more knowledge. And why does that matter? You're also gonna create a connection that when you need to order from Abbyson, and you might not have an account, or maybe you don't meet the minimum, I don't know, but you can then be like, hey, Susan, can I order through you? And you create this network, and you all can do it. You all, even if you have this special expertise because you've only been in the business for a year, or maybe you've been in the business for 30 years, you can create your own tribe, and that's powerful. And then your firm might go from 3 people at your actual firm to 25 people. You can literally build this virtual firm, and you have the power to do it. You just have to do it.
I think it's going to be interesting.
I think it's interesting to watch the workplace open up, almost like workspaces, you know? So we're seeing designers come together, right? And we work in one place. We imagine this, just one big workspace where we can come together, not hiding and taking the test and hiding our answers, but cheating off each other and sort of getting that information that we need on an everyday basis. I personally love that. Seeing how we can do that, because being online, to your point, we're not stores anymore. We are being valued for our ideas. That's it. Yep. Accept it, move on. You're not a store per se, because you're gonna get shopped, and that's a horrible moment. So learn how to move forward with this market. Patty and I are going to speak at Maison talking about this new culture that we're talking about, that our clients, they need to know the story. Our salespeople need to know the story. We are an experiential buyer, that we need to learn more about the whys of the product, not just that it's cool and it's the right color, and trust me, that's not working anymore. So because we have so much knowledge in front of us, and we've got all of the platforms to do that, it's going to be very interesting to see how we share that information. So the information's out there, we know each other, we're getting to know each other even better, we're becoming more of a global interior design group. Now how do we share that story with each other? So those are going to be the platforms, Designwall being one of them, to where we can actually share the story and make it easy. Hey, did you know that that product that you just sold to such and such was made this way? I didn't know. Did you know that they do this? I didn't know. So now we're going to help each other sell the story, not just the product.
What I have to offer is kind of just a summary of that. Listening to Kelli earlier, the design industry is changing. It is coming together. There is that working together, that cohesiveness as a global community, and we're global now. Facebook is global, Instagram is global. I agree, we're in a passing of the baton. You've got an older generation, and they're used to touch and feel. The younger generation, they're buying on Amazon. They don't value coming here to sit on a product and see, is this thing gonna last for 5 and 10 years for my client? They assume return. That's only gonna change by us coming together and working with each other. The idea of mentorship, the idea of taking stock in it. And the way that I learned to connect with my kids, I told my story. This whole industry, very simple. Manufacturers, tell your story. Because designers need to know the how and the why behind the product. Designers, tell your story. Your clients want to know what distinguishes you differently. They can hire, they can pick paint colors on house. They can find things on house. What sets you apart is your ability to tell your story. You guys are artists, you guys are creative. Tell people what makes you different. It's the summary of this whole thing. We are part of a history of people that 50 years from now, 100 years from now, we are setting the trends for how people engage with our planet. You walk into a Starbucks, David Gladstone had a design for Starbucks. He has changed the way that we engage with coffee houses. I drink coffee out of styrofoam cups. It's different. We are part of that. Whether you're a factory welder, or you're a designer, or you're an intern, we are all part of this. We are changing the future of how people engage with the planet. Own that. It's amazing. You guys are amazing for being a part of that.
I think that is a fantastic last statement for the panel. I feel like I'm at a political rally. I'm voting yes. You have my vote. Just such inspirational stuff. But what I love about this industry, and one of the reasons why we chose this subject for today, is that we've seen this come together. We've all been working on it for a while, and we've seen now designers taking this on in a personal level. It's encouraging to me, somebody who's been in the business for a while, down to the person that has just entered the business, as you said. It's up to us, as Joseph will say. We get to design what is happening in the future. And so I would just encourage you guys definitely to build your tribes. Let's go right ahead.
On that point, I think when we talk about the future, there's so many more power, just as you said, houses changing things. If we want to change this industry in the way that's best for us, we need to come together and push vendors in the directions we want, push all these different resources we need in the direction we want. But your firm might be 20 people, that's only 20 people. But together we're thousands. So you have to get together and really be bold and be together, because that's the only way we win.
Yeah.
Ivy for president! Ivy for president!
All right, let's open this up for questions. I'm sure you have some. Who wants to start? Anybody? There's got to be a question in this group. Seriously?
Question, guys.
Let me get back here.
Any question on Instagram?
You get to talk out of the crazy mic here.
Jackie, I got the honor of meeting you actually here last year, which was so amazing. And everybody talked about themselves, but I feel like you didn't get to talk about yourself. So, and I know you come as a pair with Deb, but I am putting you on the spot a little bit, because everywhere I go, everybody tells me, she just signed up to Ivy, and she's like, I know Jackie, on the phone, I know Jackie. And, I just would love to hear a little bit about your tribe that you've created as well.
Okay, that's kind of embarrassing, but I'll give it a try. Just twist my arm. Obviously, Deb and I together make one whole human being.
No.
But for me, I say I'm an industry advocate. I have a love of this industry. I've had it since I began. It's always been my passion. I live, eat, breathe design, sometimes to a fault, and I love the people in the design community. I feel a kinship to them, and I've always wanted to foster that. And there is not another industry that I know of that has people that are so accepting now and embrace one another and help one another. Many of us are mentors on so many tiny small levels that we don't even realize that we're making such a big impact in one another's lives. Some of my mentors are on this panel. Some of my mentors are the people that have come on our tours for High Point Market and Las Vegas Market. We learn so much from everybody that we touch in this industry. And there's some very intelligent, smart people, and we're a sharing community, and I'm just very, very proud to be part of that community. And so what I try and do is give back, through our tours, through events like this. And for me, personally, I grow every time I meet another person. They leave a mark on my career, on my level of talent, all of those things that have built through my career all of these years. So, I guess that's about it. Any questions? Any other questions? Well, please.
On Instagram, actually.
Oh, go on. Excellent.
Do the panel members have a favorite organization to join as part of National Tribe? ASID, With It, Color Group, and KBA.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Say
the
the
question.
names again, yeah.
The question is, do the panel members have a favorite group? Favorite group?
Favorite national organization?
National organization.
With
So
It.
whether it's ASID, whether it's With It, IDS, IHF, whatever it is.
She's not part of that
The FAA, the PC, whatever. What is your favorite organization and why?
I'm not necessarily a joiner, but I will say that as I've spent a bunch of time in this industry, I do have a couple. I'm not an ASID member or IIDA or any of those kinds of things. Former sorority girl. I don't know. Okay. But I am a member of With It, and I love With It. Thank you. Is it, maybe that's it? It's too much metal. Okay, what do you know? Who knew that? Oh God, the jewelry got in the way. I don't know if any of you are familiar. Anyone familiar with It? It's a women's professional development network for women in the home furnishings industry, and it's all about developing and empowering women. And talk about mentorship. Me too. Talk about mentorship. Talk about pick up the phone. I've got an issue. Can you help me? It has been amazing for me.
I'm the same. Not a sorority member. I actually intentionally did not sign up with any national group on purpose because I did so much speaking, and because I did design camp and campus and had so many different people. I never wanted to have so much of a stamp, so I just created my own certification. I have my own letters. But I really do. Certified design psychology coach, so it's a whole nother thing, completely separate, on purpose, because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself. But I did join With It. The very first panel I ever spoke on was here, Las Vegas Market, for With It. And that's actually where and when I decided to do the online teaching and camp.
And I'm a With It girl, but we told Joseph last night that they welcome men as well, right? Yeah. So we're not an exclusionary organization.
I'm not gonna answer because I know, first of all, Alex told me when I got on this panel, she's like, Lee, don't say anything that could get us in trouble. Right. So I can't say what organization I would say you should join, but I do have one that I think is one that I don't think I think is like a mob and not necessary and doesn't help individuals grow. But I'm not going to say who, because then I won't have a co-founder, or because I'll be so beaten up, and this will be the last panel I ever do. So I think choose an organization that empowers you, that's inclusive, that understands that the tides of this industry are changing, because if you're on the wrong side of that tide, you're going to be left behind. So that's all I have to say on this, and you can all guess which one that is.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Love having you. Thank you to Abbyson. Deb's having issues with his microphone. She's radioactive. Please take a look at the beautiful furniture in this gorgeous showroom and connect with your reps while you're here. Learn more about Abbyson. And come back when they talk about this fantastic tool that they have here. They have a great online sales tool for you guys. So thank you for coming. Have a beverage, enjoy, and have a great evening. Thank you.